everyone. Most of you know me as Elle the Tarot card reader, but I am also Elle the medium. I've been doing mediumship for about 2 years now, and I find it to be a very beautiful thing, not scary. And so I recorded one of my readings with one of you. As a matter of fact, I just put out there on my YouTube page, hey, anybody want to be my basically a blind sitter? I don't know you, you don't know me. Come and join me. Let's do a reading that I can use as an example for others to see as well. So that's what this is. I want you to take away, if anything, that mediumship is not a scary thing. It's not what the movies make it out to be. There's no, we're not sitting around in a candlelit room with the lights low, calling in the spirits and scary things are happening. It's not that at all. In fact, if anything, I can promise you it can be an enlightening and uplifting and beautiful experience with your loved ones, giving evidence of who they are, showing me what their essence was as a person here in this world, and then passing on a message to you. And often those messages can be very touching. So I encourage you to watch this and see what the other side of Elle is, the mediumship side. And I do give mediumship readings. That's part of what I wanted to tell people, is that this is another service I provide, and just help people to understand it, because so many people either see it being something done on stage, which is very surface level, not really touching the soul, because it's not that private attention mediumship that I give, or they see the Hollywood version of it being something very scary. What I tell people is, we are at the end of the day energy. We were energy before we entered our bodies. We're energy in these bodies. And when someone passes, you see their energy, their life force is gone. We are energy outside of these bodies as well. We will always continue. Our thoughts, our feelings, they go on. Just because this body doesn't go on doesn't mean that we don't go on. I believe your loved ones are still there for you. You can reach out to them. You can have a beautiful experience with them. So enjoy this video and see what a mediumship reading with me is like. All right, take care. Okay, so one thing I always give people an option to do is to ask if there's any certain person they'd like to hear from that's passed. So I cannot guarantee that I can bring somebody through, but I am pretty good at doing it. I've been able to almost every time someone's asked me to. So, but I always put a disclaimer out there, no guarantees, because it's really not up to me. I can just ask, I can ask for them to come through. And if they do, great. Is there anyone you want to hear from today?
Well, both of my parents are in spirit, so either one of those or both of them will be wonderful.
Okay, well, let's hope they come through. And mother's name is?
Jean.
Dean?
Jean.
Jean. Okay. All right. And what is father's name?
Norman.
Norman. Okay. Jean and Norman. All right. Okay. Well, I definitely felt spirit around me today, so I do believe somebody's going to come through for you. I definitely was feeling it earlier, and I was thinking, okay, her people are showing up a little bit early.
Whenever I've had a reading, they've been there all day as well.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Yeah, I think they're eager to communicate as well.
They are, which is really nice. Okay, so let me, I'm just going to call for Jean or Norman, whoever wants to come through. And I'm just going to take a few seconds, just kind of take a few breaths, get myself in a calm state, connect with you, and then we'll ask for Jean or Norman to step through. And I just invite you to take a few breaths with me as you relax as well. All right, I do feel a woman coming through. This must be Jean. I'm going to guess it's Jean, but we'll see what other information she gives us. It feels like Jean lived to be pretty decent age. I'm feeling like later 70s to maybe even 80s. Would you understand that about Jean?
No.
Okay. She was gone earlier with Jean?
Much earlier, yeah.
Okay. This woman is older, so this may be even beyond Jean then, because the lady coming through is she's got gray hair, it's curls, it's she's wearing a dress, and she shows me comfy shoes. This seems to be important. She's got these kind of comfy shoes on, and she has a kind of a stout build to her, and she seems very she's showing me herself at the market, ordering things. She seems very, her personality is almost kind of very direct, very direct. She's a very direct woman. Would you have a grandmother like that? Perhaps.
Yeah,
Okay.
I do.
Okay. Well, I feel like she is here. Would that we still may get your parents too? A lot of the time, someone else will
Okay.
come through, and then eventually that person that you're hoping for will step forward as well. Because grandmother is showing me just being again, she's at the meat market, and I feel like she really she's not a lady to cross. I feel like her tongue is just she would give you the what for real quick. um she's sharp tongued. Not that she's not a nice person, but you don't cross her is what I feel. That she's
Hmm.
very she's got a strength in and of herself, and she will tell you off. That's what I feel about her. Would you
Yeah,
understand that about your
I
grandma?
do. Yeah.
It's so funny because I bring through so many like sweet grandmas that bake cookies and stuff, but your grandma's a little different. She's not bad grandma, but she's just like, she'll put you in your place. She will put you in your place. She's got a very strong foundation in and of herself. She's showing me like a strong core, and that nobody's going to cross her or take advantage of her. It's her kind of outlook on life.
Yeah.
She's kind of, protective of herself and protective of her own too. She shows me the people around her being that way with them too. But, she showed me the kids were expected to behave though. There were structure, ways of doing things, and expectations.
Yes.
Yeah, definitely expectations for the kids. And not getting into trouble. You didn't get into trouble. That was like I'm seeing her number one. Don't get into trouble. She even had, I see what she's showing me is like the kids at her house sitting kind of quietly on the couch, they're behaving so well. It's not what you would normally see, you know what I mean? Kids would normally be like running around, and no, these kids are well behaved over there. Would you
Hmm.
understand that would
I
be
do
an
indeed.
expectation? Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And she's also showing me she had a loving side. It was just that well, what she's telling me is that she lived through some pretty hard times.
Absolutely, she did.
Yeah, yeah. She's showing me that it looks very destructive around her. I can't quite explain what this is, but it looks like she's gone through a lot. Uh, Possibly even losing a home or losing foundation is what I'm seeing, like buildings
Yeah.
crumbling and just
She lived through the war.
okay, that's what she's showing me. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
literally seeing the buildings like falling down.
Hmm.
Yeah. Oh. And so things were really hard, and at that time you have to take care of your own. You can't unfortunately it's like survival of the fittest in those moments,
Hmm.
and you have to take care of your own. And that's what she's showing me, that there was like no, it's really hard what she's showing me, because there's like not a lot of room for sympathy in those moments, because you just have so little. And
Yeah.
if you don't like hold on to what you have, you're not going to survive. It's really tough.
Yeah.
What she's saying is you have to make some really tough decisions at those moments,
She
and you
did.
have to, She admits in those moments you have to think of yourself. You can't think of everybody else. You have to think of yourself. It's she says it's like one of the hardest things in humanity to have to do that, because it takes, what she's telling me is it takes part of your humanity to have
Yeah.
to make decisions like that are so, what she says is self-centered, but they're survival. Again, she goes back to survival of the fittest. So you have to be self-centered and you have to develop that hard core. Yeah, hard stuff she went through, really hard stuff. She says, yeah, she's showing me when she was younger, she was much more, as a younger woman, she was fun. She showed me when she was young, she was fun. She's showing me dancing and laughing and this free feeling, just that free, hopeful, youthful energy, just dreamy, kind of enjoying being a pretty woman as a youngster, and enjoying music and boys and all of that stuff she's showing me. But that wasn't her life. That didn't last
Mm.
because of these other things. Yeah, it was like, what she's telling me, she like got shortchanged a little bit in that, and like a carpet was pulled out from under her. So these things happened kind of quick too. These changes, they there was like not a lot of time to prepare, is what she tells me.
Okay.
Yeah, it was tough. It was tough. So she developed this really like tough kind of inner core, and it affected her exterior as well. She says she
Yeah.
could have been nicer as she was older. She says she could have been nicer. Um, but the world didn't give her those opportunities. It's literally
No.
what she says. Yeah, the world didn't give her that opportunity. It wasn't like that's who she wanted to be, that young girl, dancing and having fun and smiling, laughing, and pretty, with the makeup and the hair done and the shoes. And I just see her as she's showing me younger, just quite beautiful and lovely and having fun. And that's you hope that lasts a lifetime, but for her, again, she's showing me this, like, literally the buildings, I can see into the buildings and it's just crumbling, the
Yeah.
concrete, you can see the metal structures, it's just everything is just falling off. It's a horrible scene, and for her to have to live through that, I mean, it's horrible for me to see just for a few seconds, and for her to have to
Yeah.
see, to live in that, and to know, like, okay, what do I do now? So um she feels very lucky that she survived through these moments and these situations. She says it's not without losses, but she feels lucky that she survived, and that she had family.
Yeah.
And but again, she's making me feel like there were losses. I feel, would you understand losses with her? I do feel there were losses as well
Yeah.
through this. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so sad. So sad. But she acknowledges what a blessing, even though she says, she understands she wasn't like the stereotypical grandma. She says the kids were still a blessing to her. You know what it was like she loved all of you guys, but there's this, that you were even there, the generational, um,
Yeah.
that was able to continue. She says what a blessing that was, because it almost wasn't, is what she tells me. It almost wasn't.
Mm.
Yeah, and that she was able to, like, alleviate some of the suffering for you guys too, that you didn't have to, you didn't, she wanted you to have a better life, and you didn't have to deal with some of those things that she did, is what she shows me. She says you were blessed, and she was able to give you some of this blessing as well. She says she wishes she could have given you more, but part of what she tried to give you was a strong core.
Yeah.
Yeah. in that sense that she developed in that way was that was one if only the one thing that came out of all of that that was good was that she became a person you didn't reckon with, and she tried to show you guys how to do that as well, how to be strong, firm.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so, if anything, she says, hopefully, those some of those life lessons will help you as you go through life. Because, in retrospect, she says, and you know, if she hadn't had, not that she would want to ever live through what she did again, but if she hadn't had those experiences, um, it she wouldn't have developed in many of the ways that she did in this lifetime. The what she shows me is the wisdom. There's a lot of
Yeah.
wisdom that came with that. Yeah, yeah. And so she tried to pass down some of that wisdom to you, is what she shows me, to her family, to the younger generations.
Yeah.
Yeah. She's showing me like telling you some of the stories. Would you understand that as a
Yeah.
younger? Yeah, yeah. She's actually showing me like sitting with you as a younger girl and telling you some of these stories. And it being like almost for you it seemed like this, how can that be? Yeah, like hard to comprehend.
Yeah.
Yeah, but she says everything she told you was true. She keeps showing me this man too, kind of I feel like it must have been her husband at maybe during that time. Um, but he feels far away.
Yeah.
Does that
I
make
was very,
sense?
very, very young when he passed away.
Okay,
I
okay,
was
yeah,
very young, maybe 6 or 5 or 6.
okay, okay. That makes sense because he feels so like
Hmm.
in the past, kind of far. Yeah, all right. So she talks about his memory living on in with the things she also um, would share. Yeah.
Yeah.
So um, she says that she did make you a stronger person. She did. Even if she wasn't the baking brownies and cookies grandma, she did make you a stronger person, and she is quite proud of you for that.
Mm.
Yeah, that you lived, she says, these are her words. You lived up to her expectations,
Oh.
and she did have expectations for you. She sure did. She
Yeah.
says you're a good person, you're a strong person, and you have good common sense. There's something about your sense and your wit that she compares very much to her.
It's very true.
Yeah, and she's calling you lovely, and she says, did she call you lovely? Because she's calling you lovely. She's
Oh.
yeah, she just thinks you're lovely and like lovely like a like we would in the United States say dear or something of that nature, you know. That's the way she's using the term. And she's actually applauding you. That's very cute. She says there's like how far you've come. She's acknowledging your successes and how far you've come. She feels like you have done well with yourself, standing up for yourself. Would you
Oh.
understand what she's talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just like her, it's like no, I don't suffer fools at all.
Yes. Yes. She feels like you've done very well with that, and that that has helped you so much in life. Be-
Hmm.
because too many people put up with being in a situation they shouldn't be in, even you know at work or wherever, because they don't speak up and or they don't have that wit and wisdom to go their own way and speak their own mind. And she's quite proud of you. She feels that you're true to yourself And that is one of the greatest gifts Grandma could ever give you. And she just wants you to know she's very proud of who you've become. Absolutely very proud of who you've become.
Thank you.
Okay, well, with that, I am going to wrap it up. Is there anything you want to share with me?
No, that was really, really good. It was really interesting that my because the grandma at the beginning was my dad's mom.
Okay.
And I've never been through before, ever. It's
You know,
always been
a lot of
over
people
the other
tell me
side.
yeah, a lot of people tell me I bring through people that they've been trying to get to, but have never come through.
And it's so funny because last night I dreamt about my grandma, and I've never ever dreamt about her, ever.
Oh, well.
So that, and I spoke to my daughter this morning and I said, oh, it's such a strange dream last night. I dreamt about grandma, and she was like, grandma? I said, yeah, exactly. So it's kind of all fallen into place.
Yeah.
So
They do that.
interesting.
Yeah. Yeah. They do that though. They come, they let you know they're going to be coming. In a lot of the classes and people I've studied under that have been doing this for a lot longer than me, they say they will show you signs like that. So
Yeah.
sometimes a person will come and they'll just have an inkling of who it's going to be that day. And sure enough.
Yeah. That was
Yeah.
so interesting. That was really good. Thank you
Oh,
so.
well, I am
Makes you
so,
feel good, doesn't it, when you've had that kind of contact? It
yeah.
boosts. Nice boost.
Yes, that's what so many people are afraid of mediumship. And I tell them, no, it's not like that. It's not something scary. Your loved ones were in, for lack of a better word, we're all energy. We were energy before we entered a body. We're energy in a body. We're still energy after we're not in a body. We're still ourselves. We're just in a different form. And you can reach out to them. You can clearly reach out to them because they give you evidence that, I mean, how would I know what your dad's like, or your grandma for that matter, who is not your stereotypical grandma?
That's very true.
Yeah, yeah. So, and I've had those experiences too, where people bring things through and I'm just like blown away because there's no way that person could have known what they brought through. And I think it's beautiful that you still have that ability to reach out and be a part of that family or friends or whoever it is and share a moment with them still, even beyond, past their passing. They're still there.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Oh, well, I was happy to do it, Jane. Your family is very, very nice. I enjoyed them. Thank you. And thank you for letting me record this reading. I appreciate it.
That's brilliant. Thank you very much.
All right. You take care.
And you will. Bye now.
All right. Bye-bye.